All right, guys, so we're going to be getting started here in just a second, but I wanted to let you know right up front, this is a sponsored video by Arteza. They actually sponsored it. I am so excited. But I also want you to know that I still give you my full 100% review. I don't hold anything back, and I make sure that you know what I think of these materials. If you're interested, after the show is over, go down below in the more information box. There is a 10% off coupon that's good for 1 month from the date this video went up. And you can get anything in the store. You don't have to just get these pens. And the coupon is good right up until almost Thanksgiving, so you can get your early holiday shopping done. Let's get started on this project and you'll see how fast, fun, and easy it really is. This time I am doing the Arteza 24 count fabric markers. These are the premium version. They are a bullet tip and chisel nib on either end. They are lovely colors. All right, so I did a swatch, a test sheet of all of the colors, and I did it on the Arteza 30 sheet watercolor pad. And this is a 5.5 by 8.5 inch book, and it comes, I think, in packs of 2 or 3 tablets. So it's a 140 pound weight paper. I drew out these little boxes in black, and then I started coloring. The black was still too fresh, and the yellow went across the black and pulled the black up. I was like, okay, so the colors will pick up when they are wet. But now this is 24 hours. So I'm going to just take, actually I'll take the yellow. And I'm going to go across this line right here with the yellow and see if it pulls. And it does not. So once the colors are dry for 24 hours, you can go over those colors with another color. Takes time to dry. 24 hours is what the packaging says, and I believe it. You don't want to do anything with this, and if you have multiple colors going down in an area, you're probably going to be working on this for a couple days. Maybe do all your outlining and then do your coloring, but don't try and do heavy outlining over the top of heavy coloring. They will bleed, and you might want that. Actually, I do want that to happen for my project that I'm doing today. So we'll see some of the bleeding and how that works. What I want to do right now is show you there's 6 greens out of a pack of 24 colors. And so that is the cap for the mint. This is the cap for the olive. Okay? This is the olive green, and that's the cap. The caps do not match in any way the colors that are on the pens. So please make sure and do your swatch. It's really important. To do, though, is try these out on a piece of washed muslin. I have wrapped it around a piece of cardboard and taped it to the back. Starting off here, I do have a pencil drawing of an owl in a tree, and we're going to put a moon behind him. So I plan on the moon being all colored with the yellow, with maybe a few little touches of some of the brown tones in it. I am going to color the moon in yellow and not chocolate, maybe the apricot, so that we can get a nice moon in here. So when I'm getting right up close to the area where I am going to draw my black outline of the owl, whoops, well, okay, my circle is going to get bigger. Then I'm pretending that it comes around and comes around. So now it's going to show up here My moon is not perfect. My moon is not perfectly circular, but it's pretty close. Or it will be pretty close. I have to make it bigger because I had made the other side bigger. There we go. Now these are fabric pens. They are made for going on fabric. There we go. And then it would slip down. And this is going to be my largest area all filled in. So we're going to see how this works. I like, so far, how bright the yellow is on this fabric. I am not going to go for a completely solid filled in background. Now, the pen nib is picking up fibers, so that's something that we'll have to be aware of. And because I use something that has a bit of a texture in the background behind there, my moon is going to have a bit of a texture to it. That's not a bad thing though. I'm not too sad about that. Just color in that little bit. We're gonna get this moon colored in. That's pretty cool. Now this is the apricot. It's showing up a lot more orangey. I'm just tapping it into some places where this paint is already wet. It is bleeding. So I'm definitely going to have to pay attention. I'm glad that I didn't just color the yellow over the whole thing, because boy, that would be a while to wait. Just sort of getting a few little cratery bits in here. I might have to go in and work a bit towards the center. I might be able to get my outline of the tree done though. I might go ahead, since it's bleeding like that. Ooh. So we'll just sort of get some shapes in here. It's almost a camouflage tree, or camouflage moon here. Look at that. That's pretty cool though. You know, this is an experiment because I've not done this design. But I think I'm going to go ahead and just start outlining. And then we can go back in and touch up in the spaces that, yeah, I know it's going to bleed on the moon. That's okay. I just drew right on the fabric with a pencil. I'm not too worried about that. long as I kind of hit where that pencil was, kind of. Ooh. Now this fine line on the black is really nice. You can get a really nice line. So I'm just having some fun here. You know, you don't want to end up with your tree having leaves that are branches that are, you know, all exactly the same. So let's see here. Actually, this branch is just going to end up, haha, see? That's what you do when you start doing your design and then you realize, oops, I probably did that a little bit too far over. And I'm being real sketchy with it in here because I want it to get some of that more bark-like texture. I'm moving fairly quickly. This isn't an actual hole. This was where a branch was. So there's not really a total indentation there. Now this, like I said before, these do have a bit of a texture to them when it is all dry. But it works out. And it's not, like I said, it's not a real painty type of texture. It's just you can feel it. And I'm very tactile when it comes to things like that, so I notice it. Now, it takes a little while for these to dry. You really want to let this dry for 24 hours before you do anything with it. So after I'm all done, I will let it dry for 24 hours before I do anything with the fabric. But I can show you what it looks like, you know, because it's really not going to change. It will just be dry. Get his toes on that branch. And again, this is just for fun. I am enjoying it. And if you look at it here, you can see what I was talking about, the texture of the cardboard underneath totally affected this. That was my fault. That's not a fault of the pens, but I kind of enjoy that texture. So here you go. You're getting the full deal. And now you see what I've done here is that I've done some really strong strokes going up and down, but right here, it's curved going towards that branch until it comes back out to there. And under his little feet, I'm going to make it a bit darker. And I'll go ahead. I'll do the over the top of his feet too. All right. You have to be careful where you lay your hands down because the ink will transfer to your hands. This is looking really cool. I'm very pleased. So I'm going to go ahead and outline all of the owly bits. So all of the bits for his eyes. And his beak. We're going to go over the top of his head and up along his shoulder and then down, and hope that the paint is dry a little bit down here. Now, you don't have to do it all in one session. You could do all of your black outlines and then come back and do all of your, let's see, I think I want to make this more like that. Then you could come back and do all of your coloring afterwards. So you could make it like a nice big coloring page. Let's see, so there's a bit of that. Look, see? Oh, and he's got a little bit of a tail back there. All right, and let's see. His shoulder, I'm making kind of like a big teardrop on one side, and then doing the same thing, a big teardrop on the other side, and then his feathers are going to come off of that, but I want to get his chest feathers in first. Very stylized. This is not a realistic. This is a fun and you know, this is just a fun drawing, making my own coloring page basically. I'm not following any of my pencil lines for his tummy because I realized that I kind of went off a little bit of what I wanted his tummy to look like. All right, and then we've got his feathers for his wings are wrapping down and around his body. And again, these are stylized feathers. Which is fun to do. Nobody can tell you it's wrong because it's yours and you made it up. Aw, look at that. So I think I'm going to come up over his little shoulder bits. Okay, it does pick up some of the fuzz on the fabric. These are not really ears up here. It's just his little horn bits. And I think we're going to make around his eyes the outer area. It's like the big feathery disc around his eyes. So this could be Halloween, this could be harvest, this could be just any time of the year. Maybe he's going to be mostly black and white also. I might grab some of the grays and do a little bit of some details with gray, but then make his eyes bright yellow. I like that. Like that idea. I like using this black. This black is almost like drawing with charcoal for how it feels. I mean, the black is black, you know, it's not like it's not trying to be any other color and any other shade. So this is where I have to be really careful and not set my hand down on my, I want to call it a canvas, but it's not canvas, it's muslin. It's been washed. There's no sizing in it. All right, so this part is going to have a bit of a highlight spot. I don't have any white, so I have to make sure that I save the white on the canvas, on the surface, or I would need, oh, look at him. He's so cute. You need to reserve the white or bring in some acrylic paint at the end or fabric paint. There we go. Get that sort of shadow line there from the branch. Yeah, that works. So let's see if I can do that on this side. Get that center line of on the wing. I think that one's moving more around towards the back of his body. So he's got some light on his shoulder showing. So just like that. I'm not looking at a reference. This is just my own little owly world. Okay, so I'm putting some shadow right up underneath in that V. It's going to give us a little bit of depth, and it's basically just going into that point and then pulling out 2 or 3 little strokes. Oh, yeah, okay, so let's see here. How do I do that without getting my hand through everything? Bring that line up, and that line up, and that line up. And since I love the owls on my channel anyway, put a little bit of detail in the bottom of each feather. Just 2 or 3 little tap, tap, taps. Give some detail, give some variation. There you go. We are done. Oh my gosh. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video with your friends. Make sure to leave me a comment and let me know if you enjoyed this video, this type of drawing. Make sure to let me know in the comments. And as always, go out, do something creative, take care of yourself so you can take care of those around you. And I hope to see you back here again really soon. Bye-bye.